bunk window nightmare. Skip it out, yeah. This is going exactly as planned, ladies and gentlemen. Hey everybody, Dmitry here with Cirque Supply, and today we are waking up from a bunk window nightmare. Let's dig right in. So if you're watching this, either you're doing it for the entertainment or you're in a similar situation where you've cut your bunk window, you go to put it up, and all of a sudden, oh my God, it's not quite fitting the way I want it to. And this video is going to be about how we fix it. We've run into this before. We usually use our own cutout templates, but for this new style bunk window, we use the template provided to us and bring it in a little closer. Let me show you what we ran into. We could have avoided if we would have just set this down ahead of time. Look at the tolerance on these corners when I align this. This all looks good, 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 good. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, good, 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 oh crap, oh crap. And every single corner on here is oh crap, oh crap. The problem is you're tracing with a Sharpie, okay? You take this cardboard template, you trace it on with the Sharpie, and then if you cut on the inside of the Sharpie, you might just make it. But if you happen to cut on the outside of that 1/8 inch thick Sharpie line, you're in a world of hurt, which is kind of where this ended up. Now, we already fixed the other side, but I thought it'd be nice and neat to show you guys how I fix it here at Cirque Supply. This may not be the same way every builder out there does it. It's just the way I do it. It works for me. It never leaks, ends up looking really good, and you don't need any specialized tools to make it happen. So without further ado, let's get started. First things first, let's set our window in. Now I don't have a ladder. It's gonna be kind of hard to see from this distance, and this fan's a little dirty. We'll clean it off before we glue, but here's a great example. Let me actually push this to the back here. Oh, right there. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you want your bunk window to sit. Just kidding, that's not the case here. But we're gonna have to just agree on something. Let's take a look at the real estate we're working with, and let's make a decision on which corner is the worst, which corner requires the most attention. If you're gonna have a really good seat anywhere on here, I would always recommend making these top two corners perfect and then filling in where you need to on the bottom. So based off what I can tell, you guys probably can't see from the video, I can get a really good seat on 1, 2, and 3. The 3 corners where I think I might have like rainwater, water coming rushing in from the freeway, dripping in. These are the ones I want to attack. And of course, this one will be watertight, but the odds of water defying the laws of physics and creeping up here, unless they're part of some DARPA experiments, probably not going to happen. And in which case, water's traveling up or upwards, these weep holes are going to be a bigger problem for you to deal with. So now that I get a picture of what I'm going to do, how the heck am I supposed to fill that gap? This, ladies and gentlemen, is butyl tape. This is the miracle stuff, although it's not super tacky at first, but if you get it on the concrete and leave it, it's never coming off. But much like that guy in the Flex Seal commercials, you can kind of just slap this on anything and it does a damn good job. Got 2 types of butyl tape you'll run into. One of them is like a round roll. It almost looks like a tube of pasta. I try to avoid those for this application, although it works great in other places. For this application, I'm gonna do the flat butyl tape. And so what I'm doing here is I'm gonna take this butyl tape. I'm gonna start in the middle on the bottom because I don't want seams on top. I'm gonna fold it like a taco all the way around this window line, re-meet it back here. And then you run into the dilemma. How much should I overlap on each side? If you're really pro, really tedious, you want to take your time, do like a slight 1/8 inch overlap all around. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to go right down the middle. I'll probably have 1/4 inch to 3/8 on both sides of the butyl tape, which means I'll have more than I need, and we'll go over how to trim that back at a later step. But for now, let's get started. This butyl tape got a little stretched there. I'm going to re-overlap it. So you've gotten to this step and you're thinking, man, my van wall looks like I let a toddler with Play-Doh run rampant on it, and you are correct on that. That's exactly how it looks. That's exactly how it should look. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my window, I'm going to press it into place, and I'm just going to make sure I can get it to a place where there's no gaps. Okay. Weep holes on bottom. Expect a tight fit. Oh, yeah, buddy. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure there's no gaps here. Perfect. Let's check our bottoms. I've got a gap here. I've got a gap there. So I'm gonna double line these because again, I want the top to be waterproof, I care more about the top than I do about the bottoms right now. Now, I don't necessarily want to stack it super thick on the front because I don't want my window to be uneven. But I do want to make a little hot dog. And take the little hot dog. I'm gonna put it in place like this. Really get it to stick. Very nice. Play-Doh extraordinaire. Let's make another hot dog on that side. Or, if you're watching this on April 20th, something else. All right, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Now I'm gonna be delicate about this. I gotta place this window back in. I don't wanna just shove it in and have it push these hot dogs out. So I'm gonna put the bottom in first and then tip the top in. And I think that will keep these guys in position. But again, there's other things we can do if it pushes it out. Not a big deal. Money, 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 money. Wise words of Mr. Krabs. Money, 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 money. Okay, I'm happy with it. The butyl tape's gonna hold this up. I've got no gaps all the way around. We'll go over these overlaps here in a little bit. But for now, let's get on the inside, start screwing it in together. Let's go look at our Butyl tape. All right, man. So, yes. Okay, all gaps closed. I actually started forcing some of this butyl tape back out. And that's it, folks. That wraps up this video. Thanks so much for watching. Just kidding. That looks awful. It looks like a toddler did it, which is why we're going to move on to the next step. This is where it gets really fun. Go grab yourself. If you have a plastic, like putty blade, that's cool. You know, you can use that. I'm going to use a box cutter, but you have to be extremely careful not to scratch your paint, and I'll show you how in just a sec. You got a blade, and there's arguably a couple ways to do this. So the most conservative way would be to grab like a plastic tool and gently push in as much butyl tape as you can get, which I'm not going to do at this juncture because I've already clamped the damn thing. So this off the table. Now it comes to cutting. Two ways to do this. Way number one, if you just don't care, you can take this and glide it along the outside and go right into the metal, cut all the way through, peel it off, whatever. Arguably, may not matter because you're going to seal it anyway in the next step, but it's not my van. I like to be respectful, so I'm going to just lightly score as many times as I need to and tear the butyl tape at a straight line. I don't need to cut it perfectly flush. I want to do like maybe an 1/8 inch of a layer of adhesive at the end anyway, so especially on these double layered corners, I'm not going to keep it super flush. I'm going to keep it a little back because I don't want the blade to sink in past. And if it does, you can use this to push that butyl tape back in and close it up and try again, but we're going to hope for the best and expect the worst. Just kidding. See how this turned out. The butyl tape is just so thick, man. It's just dragging the blade. I'm going to have to do this in like stages. See that? All right. Is it flawless? No. Does it need to be? No, because the next step is going to cover a multitude of sins. But first, let's get some rubbing alcohol, some isopropyl, and let's clean all around this so that our gluing surfaces are nice and, I don't know, ready for glue or something. Okay, this next part I think is the most important, and depending on how long you take with this, the better this is going to look. So you can go real fast and call it a day, whatever. Or you can take your real sweet time with this and make your van look spectacular, but really it all comes down to how much effort you want to put into this. Now, when I peel my tape after I glue something, I like to just do one nice peel. So, a little pro tip for you, when you start your first line, take this tape, fold itself over on the back end. This will be your indicator of like peel here. You know, this is where I'm starting. So, I'll start with just my horizontal, and I'm going to leave a very nice, generous gap here. Maybe less than 1/8 of an inch, but more than 3/32 for sure. I'm gonna make it very even all the way around, and I'm gonna rip it past my bend. And so every layer of tape I'm gonna put on after this, I'm gonna go on top of this and work my way around here so that this is always in the bottom, and when I start peeling, I can just the whole thing off, nice and easy. Quick tip. This is that part where, you know, I talked about it'll be as good quality as you need it to. I want a really rounded edge. So, you know, I could technically just say, you know, that's good. That's a rounded edge. But I don't like that. I'm not going to settle for that. So I'm going to take each of these little angles here. I'm going to break them up into smaller angles. And I don't want a bunch of octagons on my corners either. So I will go back in and make the smaller angle smaller. Come follow me on this side. I actually already did that window. I want to show you what it looks like. So I took a lot of time with this right here. And you can still see, sorry for the smudge marks. You can still see there are some slight angles there. They're hard to see, but this really goes to show the more work you put into masking, the prettier it's going to look on the other side. So next step, we've masked this off. I'm happy with how it looks. It's going to look really good. And the masking tape's there to keep the sealant from getting on your wall. But what's to keep it from getting all over this thing? Well, I'm glad you asked. You can sit here and painstakingly mask that entire thing off, which is way harder, or you can be lazy like me and grab yourself some oil, any kind of oil, and all I'm going to do is pour myself a little smidge. I'm going to clean it off. Okay, take my finger, dip it in the oil, and check this out. Instead of masking it, I can just do a nice light glaze of oil along the outer perimeter of this thing. It's going to take a couple more dabs here. But that adhesive is not going to stick to that oil, meaning when I'm done gluing, I can just wipe it off with the oil, and it's going to come right off. And I don't have to sit here with rubbing alcohol or, God forbid, brake cleaner or something harsh, some crazy chemical, when all I need is a dry rag and a little bit of faith. What you don't want to do is get oil on the sides, because I want the glue to stick to the sides, you know? So if you have a caulking gun, get that out. If you have a bougie caulking gun like I do, with this automated, then you're in good hands. Now I already did the other side and this hardened up. If you're curious what I'm using today, it's Sikaflex 221. I got it in black. I wanted to kind of match the vibe of everything we got going on here. You might be doing this in white, in which point it'd be very important to do that oil film or mask or whatever have you, because you just don't want the white smearing all over your stuff. So let's squeeze some of this out. See if we get a nice, whoa, God, not gonna happen today. All right, that's exactly the speed you wanna do this. Just kidding. I'm gonna set this guy down to like 2 maybe, let's see. I wanna get a comfortable speed here on the old doo-doo rag. Come on, come on. Oh my God, that's too slow. I'm gonna lose my mind. Let's go 3, 4, 5. Oh.
Just popped it.
This is going exactly as planned, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's change this over to an episode of Dmitry's Ghetto Adventures. Today we're going to do something awful. Let's get started. Oh boy, the adventures continue on.
No.
Okay, this is going so well. Sikaflex 221 is now Sikaflex Poo Poo 1. While we're ahead, let's go fast. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start somewhere. I'm gonna do a nice bead. I don't really care about making it perfect. That's not what's important here. What's important is that I have glue evenly everywhere. Too much is not good. Not enough is not good. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. It's okay, keep going. We're doing this for the plot, Brad. Get Sikaflex on your car, don't worry. Actually, this is a good spot to show this part of the video. My glove is completely covered in Sikaflex. That could be dangerous. Got a little bit of Sika, rubbing alcohol while it's still wet, and magic. It was never there. Super easy, right? Okay, so obviously I did an atrocious bead all around. The reason why I was saying it's not really all that important is because you're gonna take your fingers with a glove and you're going to press that bead in like you're siliconing a bathtub. Any excess, go ahead and capture it in your rag. Get a very nice clean bead and try to avoid building it up on your window as much as you can. And despite how filthy this looks, you guys will see this will look pretty sweet when I'm done with it. Going back around here. If you put too much like I did, you're just gonna do more pit stops in the rag. which is not the end of the world. Much better. Money. Okay, last step. This is the most important part. I don't want to dilly-dally too long. This video is probably already way too long. Clean, 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 clean. While this thing is still fresh, get all the schmutz off of your window, get all the Sikaflex off of the paint, make sure this thing is super duper clean, and don't be an idiot like me, clean too close, fly too close to the sun, lose your wings, and have to start over, because redoing it twice is all fun and games, makes it an entertaining video, but redoing it 3 times, I lose all my credibility. So don't be that guy, clean up. We'll circle back once this is nice and tidy. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you would fix a bunk window with some mild issues. And frankly, that was, I mean, it literally probably could not have gone worse. Everything went south in that video. And it still worked out. So I hope this video gets no views, and I hope everybody's bunk windows go in flawlessly. But if yours, for some reason, is causing you problems, it's leaking, you overcut, whatever, I hope this serves as a useful tool. If I could highlight any few points, make sure your tube doesn't explode. Check it before. That sucked. Make sure your oil doesn't spill into your thing. Just take better care than I did. Get a lot of cleaning supplies, a lot of rags. Make sure this is spotless when you're done. And of course, if you mess it up, you can always go back and do it again. But the clock is ticking, so go fast. Again, the adhesive I used is Sikaflex 221. The reason I did not use lap was because if I used self-leveling lap there, all of my problems would have been 10x'd. And while that stuff is like concrete, it's going to stick forever, it's still pretty pliable, and even more so in warm temperatures like we have here in the shop today. So in any case, I hope this video was entertaining, informative. If you have a better way to do it, which you probably do, leave it down below. We'd love to hear about it. Thank you for watching, and happy building. One dingleberry to clean, dude. I'm really not excited about it.